Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino and we're looking at a beer that was sent to me by the one and only Steve out there in the BC. So thank you very much Steve out there in the BC for this beer. It is from Four Winds. This is Operis, which is a Brett Saison at 7% alcohol. It was bottled in July. Right now it is October 1st now. Was just sent to me, so we're August, September, we're just under 3 months old. Apparently they told him to make sure to get to this beer earlier than later, so I thought, hey, why don't we just do what they say and get to it. I've had a few Four Winds beers explode on me, so as you see I have it turned. There's a fly. There's a fly. It's not even a fruit fly, it's a full-fledged fucking fly. But I mean, both my windows were open and both the screens are ripped thanks to my children, so who knows what the fuck got in here. I'm hoping that it just lets itself loose, but then at the same time I don't want it to let itself loose. I want it to shoot though. No. It's basically out. Yeah, I don't know why I'd have to wait on this, because this is just holding on by the top like that, see? And it couldn't shoot itself. Oh shit. Might not have shot itself out, but it did shoot itself out as soon as I lift my finger. So you hear that? As soon as my finger lifts, this is going. It's got the I can't even think here. I find there's usually two forms of infection spews. The full on boom and the just slow guzzle out. And it had that slow guzzle where there's a lot of head. I'm not 100% sure that it's supposed to be there or not. And I mean, I say infection, but for anyone that's big on beer, an infection doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. I mean, this is a Brett Saison, so it's kind of infected to begin with, because Brett is basically an infectious yeast strain. We do use it as breweries do use it as a normal place, everyday yeast strain now, but I mean, what it was known as was an infection. And it was one of the biggest fears of a winery was Brett getting into your winery. So I always find it funny just how open breweries are to using this stuff that wineries are so scared of. Because if you don't get it all, you're gonna have a whole bunch of new Brett beers that you weren't expecting. I mean, you might have been making a Brett Saison and you didn't clean everything 100% perfectly. Well, now you have a Brett fucking brown ale, a Brett lager, Brett everything. So, first and foremost, beautiful color, nice bright gold, very hazy. You cannot see my hand at all until it touches the glass. So that's nice. Big head, big bubbles. Little snap crackle pop in there, very little snap crackle pop, though that head's gonna stick around, much like, say, a Duvel type of pour. I think visually that is a very appealing beer. To me at least, that's a very appealing beer. I love the haze on it, I love the head on it, I love the color on it. I just love that beer. Scent. What does the beer smell like? To the Rhino. It smells like a Brett Saison. I mean, It's the weirdest thing to say, but really you can't say much. The only differing factor from most Brett Saisons is this kind of smells like there's a little bit of vanilla in it, which is weird to me. Yeah, it almost smells like it's barrel aged. It has that like vanilla and no. Vanilla and fig, basically. Vanilla and fig, as well as a pepperiness, a funkiness, not tart, not barnyard funk. It didn't go that way, but just a funkiness mixed with that vanilla, and mixed with what the fuck, bug? Go away, bug. Fucking bug. Yeah, vanilla, funk, a little bit of fig, a little bit of oak even. Let's try it. Cheers. Okay. I think this beer smelt much better than it tastes for me. Four Winds has made one of my favorite beers of the year, if not favorite beers of my lifetime, with Nectorious, their sour pale ale. Very, very, very good beer. This, not a bad beer. But I don't think it touches that in any way, to be honest with you. There is a Brett funkiness, but it's not. It's not barnyard funk, and it's not tart. It's just funk. I don't even know how to say it other than just funk. You know. Lighter body than I was expecting. Wet, easy drinking. Not much on the forefront. Just a little bit of grainy weediness, to be honest with you, almost like a breadiness. Middle, not much either. The middle, you start getting a tiny bit of pepperiness and that tiny bit of funkiness, and I can't even pinpoint what the funkiness is, but it's there. And then it fades to a oaky tannin, like you held a tongue depressor on the back of your tongue for a while. Excuse me. All in all, when I burped, there was this little apple effervescence. Well, not effervescence, sorry, an apple ester that came up the back of my throat. That was intriguing. 7% alcohol, though, and I wouldn't guess that at all. I would probably guess around 5, so that's a big plus on it. Is there a fault in the beer? No, there's absolutely no faults. Is the beer nice? The beer is nice. Could I drink the beer? Can I drink the whole 750? Yes. Will I drink the whole 750? Of course. Would I buy this if I had the chance to buy it? No. And for that reason alone, I'll give it a 6.75, because I don't think I would ever need to drink this beer again. There is so many beers in the world that, for me personally, this beer just doesn't do it for me to go out and grab it again. It might for you, and that's the fact that I have to talk about this in almost every video, especially a video where I don't give a great mark. You might love this beer, and that's perfectly fine. My grading system is a mixture of flavor plateaus, flavor thresholds, as well as value and my perception of where it sits in everything I've drank. So the more beers I've had, the harder it is to get a good score. All that said, is there any faults in the beer? No. Is there anything in the beer I think that would really turn somebody off? Maybe the Brett itself. Is it worth a drink and a try? Of course it is. Every beer is. Thank you, Steve, for sending this beer out. Thank you to Four Winds for brewing the beer. Operis Brett Saison.